I don't know Al. I know Funky Dineva
How you know Funky?
because he used to buy cocaine from me. I've seen Brit Eady do coke.
Sorry, I'm trying to set up this iPhone.
No, don't worry. Take your time.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
I'm 26 now. Yes. So I am from Los Angeles, and being from LA, you meet a lot of people, and you're invited into a lot of rooms and whatnot. If you're in the entertainment industry, or if you're not, you are gonna get an invite living in LA and being from LA. And so I started running in the circles that a lot of politicians, a lot of famous people were running into. And I ran for office myself. And that's when all hell broke loose. I was a cool guy. I grew up in the hood. I had to learn how to survive. And I grew up in Watts. I'm from Watts. You acquire certain skills, in order to survive growing up in that area, which, I don't judge anyone's survival, but oftentimes, as I've climbed the ladder to get to where I am, a lot of people have taken my survival and made me look like a villain. And for the past 3.5 years, going on 4 years, I've been silent. My name has been drugged through the mud. And this year, at the beginning of this year, I prayed about it. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna let it all out. If you come for me, I'm fine with being a villain. I'm fine with, getting you together because I have a lot of information to tell on people. But I held that silence for 3.5 years. And when I go and I Google my name, or I, see a blog post about me, I see people in the comments who needed my help, who, want to jump on the bandwagon. Oh, David's a villain, David's a bad guy, or that's not really who he is, and blah, 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 blah. But you weren't saying that when you needed my services. You weren't saying that when I was helping you fake it till you made it and climbed your ladder. So, all right, so let's go back a little bit. So the whole situation with Kenya Moore, I feel like Brit Eady was wrong. And me, as someone who is a fan of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and have hung around these circles and whatnot, I spoke my truth. I said, Brit, you're wrong. You shouldn't have threatened that girl. You can't, expect for her to, and I said it respectfully, you can't expect for her to respond in a way that you want her to respond. And that's when she went off on me and talking about I was a scammer and this, that, and the other. And I just basically told her, this ain't what you want. This is not what you want. Knowing that, your husband has been attending my parties and getting bent over on the balconies and always around other people, in groups and whatnot. It was not a close relationship. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is what it is. Let's go into like sex parties and how they work and
Yeah,
how.
because even though I've never been to a sex party, so
Really?
I've never been to a sex party. I'm 41 years old, and I've been with 5 people in my entire life.
Because that's where Michael would be in the setting. Him and I would spend time in the setting. Now, when I say time, I mean he would come and he would pay, and he would engage with the other folks at the party and whatnot. And not always would I engage with him. For the most part, it was unprotected sex. I was an associate, yeah, but not like
Okay.
strict friends. No.
Okay. So let me just ask you this. Did you have sex with Mike or did you just eat his booty?
I had sex with him. It was tight. It was nice. But when you in it, you in it.
Wow.
When I had sex with him, it was protected. I always wrap up. No. Um, so we met in Atlanta. You know, I went to Savannah State University. I was always traveling back and forth to Atlanta. I actually went to Savannah State when I was 15 and a half, going on 16. And I was in these spaces. I was going to these, you know, high profile events, you know, mayor balls and stuff like that. So I had acquired a pretty powerful network, and I met Brit Eady at a party because I was living in LA at the time, and I was still running for city council here in LA. But people had already known my name. I was, I was doing the work. I was working on other campaigns, and I was fundraising, consulting for, some campaigns. And I just happened to meet her.
What year was this?
Oh, this was like 2019, right before COVID. And that's, literally right before COVID, like a couple of months before like COVID happened. I've gone on trips with her, and a trip about, the DL football player. I'm not going to mention his name because he's done nothing wrong to me.
You are off the chain.
He called me and he wanted to make sure that his name wasn't going to be brought up, but we're still cool to this day. Him and I actually hung out in Palm Springs a couple of weeks ago where I was hosted another party. I mean, I don't do porn. I'm not an OnlyFans model, but I understand the power of that industry. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Sex sells. So we went to the DER on this trip we stayed at the cheap Punta Cana resort. And long story short, that's where, her husband was trying to, come in a room with. It was an attorney from Revolt World. It was a couple of like high profile people. This celebrity hairstylist. Who else? It was the football player's sister. We're gonna call them the football player sisters. His two sisters. It was another friend who's no longer my friend, a guy. And yeah, it was a big ass group of us.
And so how did Mike come on to you?
Whoa. I wouldn't say he had been attending my parties for quite some time now. I had known who she was. I had known him. Again, it's not my business. And that's another part of the trip details. So they got mad because I wouldn't tell them that the DL football player, because somebody had saw him coming out of my room one morning, and they got mad because he was flirting with the girls in the beginning. But he was come to my room at the end of every night. When everybody go to bed, everybody's drunk. He was trying to engage with us, but we weren't on that type of timing in the DR.
So Mike was trying to proposition you and the football player?
Yes. Yes, he's her. I mean, he's obviously a beard.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lavender marriage. I mean, I've seen Brit Eady do coke at VVS in Atlanta. I didn't see her do coke in the DR, but I did see her do coke in a club in Atlanta last year. So, I mean, we're there. Nothing happens between Michael Cunningham and I. And the football player at the time. Absolutely nothing happened because the dude that I'm with and that I constantly see, even to this day, that's not his type of timing. He's masculine. So long story short, this was the Dominican Republic. We're getting fucked up. That's from the DR. We was eating dinner in the sky, Putacana. Let's see. We were all on the boat.
Okay.
I got videos, and I just, if we want to go to court, and they've been really silent. They said I was bullying them. But ain't no attorneys contacted me. I know Claudia's attorney, contacted Tasha K, but that was shut down real fast. Because I've had to survive. I've had to learn to survive in life. I've had to adapt. I grew up in the foster care system. I was a homeless foster youth, and you have to find a niche. And I was good at helping people secure housing in luxury apartment complexes, and doing their applications and whatnot. No CPNs or anything like that. And I don't even know how to do CPNs. But long story short, I know how to do people paperwork. So and digital proof. And everybody should have access to housing and whatnot and basic human rights. And I'm a firm believer in that. Have I ever talked to her on the phone? No. We are all associates. So you know how like your friend invites someone and then it just turns into like multiple people being there? That's how it was. And multiple people showing up. Yes, that's how it was.
Okay. So my question to you is, why did you expose Mike? Was he just collateral damage?
He was collateral damage, yes. I'm not messy. Don't come for me and I will not come for you. And if you come for me, I'm coming 10 times, 100 times harder with the facts. I mean, shit. Anybody know, if you come for me, I'm hitting hard. I'm digging up deep shit and I'm pulling up receipts. Right. That is correct. Because she had been dragging me on Foxo. And I pulled up the receipts how she used my services to obtain housing, getting her approved for housing, apartments and condos and whatnot. Mm-hmm. People were throwing stones in glass houses, and I had been quiet for 3.5 years, going on 4 years. I had shut my mouth. I allowed people to drag my name through the mud. Claudia was doing interviews about me. I don't know Al. I know Funky Dineva.
How you know Funky?
Because he used to buy cocaine from me.
Funky Dineva used to buy cocaine from
me? Him and somebody else. And if Funky Dineva ever tries to deny it, I didn't already talk to the person that he used to come with, to buy the cocaine from me with. And I don't sell cocaine anymore. I don't do anything illegal anymore. But yes, he did. That shitty booty hole of his, the girl said he be painting. Now I guess that's why they call her Funky Dineva, because that ass is funky. But I ain't never touched it. That's the word on the street.
You're saying that Funky Dineva used to buy cocaine from you?
Yes, he did.
Okay, that's you and Claudia.
Here we go again.
Okay, let me see.
Us before the BET Awards.
Okay, that's Claudia. Okay, I see Claudia.
Because I actually did her paperwork at that dinner. We were at Buffalo Wild Wings. He needed help. she didn't have the best credit, and she sat down with me, and I told her, hey, I can help you out. I don't know what it is now, but it was like a low fives when I first met her. She wasn't getting approved for anything.
But based on what you provided for her, what was she able to get?
Well, apartments and condos.
But she has a house in Dallas right now, right?
Well, that's now. This was years ago.
Okay.
This was actually 2015.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you said that you have this book coming out. Can you tell me about the book?
Yeah, so I just go into all of the details about, my relationship with, high profile celebrities. It's a tell-all memoir. I've been silent for 3.5 years, and I'm tired. I've lost out on opportunities.
How so?
I go see. I've lost jobs. I've lost, employment opportunities. Branding opportunities. Because people like to drag my name through the mud every year. And when you Google me, it comes up. Oh, scammer. Said again, how am I financially securing myself?
Absolutely. What's up?
I'm still holding parties. So let's go back a little bit. So sex parties, how they operate is you come in, you strip down. And whether or not and here's the misinformation in those comments was, oh, $32 was cheap, $30 are cheap. Well, people were paying $15 and $20 at other parties that in different places and whatnot. And I can send a list of flyers that show the pricing of sex parties and whatnot. My party was $30 cash, $32 Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, any electronic, transfer, because I have to transfer that into my bank account. So I have to account for the fees that it takes out. So it was $32. So if you have 100 people coming to your party, that's about $3,000. I'm still, doing different things. Everything's legal. I work a good job right now. I keep it private, because of people like to ruin opportunities for me. I'm keeping my schooling private, but yes, I am, for verification purposes, what I'll do on the back end, I would, ask that you respect it and, not post it or anything like that. Just, out of protection for my schooling and my.
I understand.
Yeah. So you can verify I work and I am in school. But yeah, I am actually starting back law school Tuesday. So I bought my books this past week, and I'm going back to finish what I started. So I just want to tell my story. I want everybody to see all sides of it. If I'm still the villain in your book, so be it. I'm fine with that. But it was okay for people to try to expose how I've had to survive and drag my name through the mud and whatnot when they did. But when I turn around and respond, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy no matter, how you look at it.
David, I'm going to end this right here. Again, I'm just going to thank you for being here this evening, and I just hope you enjoy your weekend, and we have to stay in touch. Okay?
Of course. I sent you sent you that video, and then also I got receipts for the.
Yeah, send me the receipts for sure. I look forward to having you on the platform again. Is that a deal?
That sounds good. All right.
All right. All right.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Mm-hmm.